Hello, this is a demonstration of some of the output options in the DisplayPoints command. And we can send data to a delimited file, such as a CSV file, or we can copy and paste into Excel, or we can send something directly to the printer. So let's take a look at this. I'm just going to go ahead and right click in here and start my DisplayPoints command. And then I'm going to select a bunch of points over here around this alignment. And let me go ahead and select the center line of this road here as my alignment. Okay, so now let me go ahead and cut this down a little bit. Let's say I want to go ahead and only send these columns. And note I have them sorted by station. So first of all, let's just go ahead and say maybe we just want to send these straight to the printer. So I'll just go ahead and click on the Print to Printer button. And let me select a better printer than that. And go ahead and note that I could have selected Arrange, in which case I can print just the selection. So if I select just a portion of the grid, or by default it would print, I could print the entire grid. And once I click OK, I can see a plot preview of the output. And this output is sorted in the same order as shown on the display. So if I want the output on the printer to be in a different order, like say I want to drag these columns to a different order, I could go ahead and do that. Or if I want to recall a quick set to recall one of my different orders, I can do that too. And then when I go ahead and do the print to printer, let's switch back to that printer. When I go ahead, you can see now the columns are now in my new order. In addition, I can go ahead and print these to a file. So let's do print to file. By default, the file will go to the same directory as my drawing. If I use this star, this asterisk right here, it will just use the directory and name of the current drawing, and then append whatever else I type there. So I'll have basically my drawing, the same name as my drawing, except ending with a .csv extension instead of a .dwg extension. And down here in this window, I can actually see the actual file name that it wants to print to with the full path, and you can see how it's heading to my drawing name .csv. I can output all the rows, or I could select rows in the display before I hit print, and then I can print just those selected rows. And I can change my delimiter. Right now I have it set to a comma. I could make that a tab by keying in /t if I wanted a tab delimited file. But let's just go ahead and keep it a comma delimited file. And down here, I can optionally suppress any other data. So by default, if I have rows hidden in my display, they will not appear, or they will be suppressed when I print to the printer, or to the file rather. But in addition to doing that, I can have some rows display in the display here, but not have those go to the file. So in this case, I am not sending my grid, northing and easting, latitude and longitude to the file, even though they're displayed in the display. If I already hit cancel here and come back here and change my display, say back to this one, where I have a bunch of hidden rows, then when I go and do my print to file, you can see a bunch of the hidden rows are already disabled by default, and the hidden rows will not go to the file. But I could optionally suppress any of these others as well. So say I didn't actually want these extra elevations to go to the file, I could go ahead and turn those off. And now when I say OK here, then I can jump into my directory where my drawing is. And I see here's the CSV file that just got created. And if I were to open this into Excel, or in this case in OpenOffice, then we can see all the data. And note, when it dumps data out to the file, it actually dumps it out into the full precision. So then we could use Excel here to modify that however we want. It dumps it out as full precision just to help with the problem that we run into when sometimes we start using formulas and we get bogus, or strange results because of rounding in our data. And by dumping them out full like this, it usually helps if we then take this data and process it further with formulas. Our formulas might end up with cleaner results. We could also, in addition to exporting to a CSV file like that, we could also just select whatever we want in the grid here and hit Control-C to copy and Control-V to go ahead and paste it into Excel. And that's a demonstration of the various ways we can grab data out of the DisplayPoints command.